Hey guys, Schwanty Phillips here with our brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. They're gonna go out today, see if things came out, see if things are on sale today. Now today though, big release-wise, there's not actually that much coming out, big release-wise that will be in stores. One of the only big things that's coming out, is South Park, and I believe it's the complete 23rd season. So I'm gonna have a review of that one at the end of this video. But other than that though, there's some there are two horror movies that come out today. One of them I actually ended up finding yesterday. I was in Walmart. I had to go in there real quickly. They ended up having it already, so I figured I might as well just get it. I'll see if it's still in there to show it, though, and I'll let you guys know what it was in there, though. And there's also one other horror one as well. That they didn't have that one yesterday, so fingers crossed, hopefully they'll have that one. Other than that, though, there's not too much else today, that will be in stores. Also, though, at the end of this video is going to be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews for some things that are Steve to review and talk about for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And as always, too, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks that are reviewed. What you guys thought of the films, if you guys have seen them. Also, if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But anyway, though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Walmart we go. Yeah, but like I was saying, though, with new releases, there was nothing really, not a whole lot of big things this week. And I think and the main reason why, and all you guys know, is because, things have been not going to, since the theaters have been closed, a lot of the big studio movies haven't been coming out. I do think, though, we are going to see, though, what I'm kind of thinking is probably, starting in, maybe 2 months from now, we're going to start seeing a lot more bigger things coming out, like the stuff that went to, streaming. So a lot of those kind of things, like some of the ones, recently, the one with Kevin Bacon that just went to streaming, the Pete Davidson movie, The King of Staten Island. I think we're going to see, those ones little by little start coming to, DVD and Blu-ray and that kind of stuff. And then I think and then there's also things scattered throughout, though, in a couple weeks, Trolls World Tour, that one comes out, as well as, but I really think, though, once the theaters open and they start playing movies the end of July, then we're going to probably start seeing more stuff coming out, October and November is when I think the big releases are really going to start to really pick back up again, physical release-wise and all that kind of stuff, though. But like I said, there are still, though, scattered throughout, though, a handful of bigger releases coming out. Also, a lot of cool, indie horrors and that kind of stuff. So definitely will still be a lot of cool stuff to look for and to check out and review and all that kind of stuff. Just not a whole lot of huge films that are coming out, though. But gotta head in to Walmart. Yeah, but like I was saying, though, I wasn't here yesterday. Ended up getting the one horror movie that they had out in the section already. But we'll go over here now, though, and see if anything's been changed. Like I said, since there's not a ton of releases, they might not have changed everything up. So I haven't even looked yet. I just walked over here live to see if there's anything else. But as you can see right here, though, in the front right here, this is all stuff from the past couple weeks, though. There's Impractical Jokers. That was out last Tuesday. They don't have any more of the Blu-rays of that one. And all the releases here, these were all from last week. Sniper, the collection, these ones were last Tuesday. Soldier's Revenge was last Tuesday as well. Just checking to make sure there's nothing else different down here. Let's see, though. Oh, look, now, this is new. They're now locked up in cases. So this sort of sucks. Yeah, this is the main location I go to, and it's all locked up like this. And this was I was here yesterday, and it wasn't like this. So here's the one, though, that I wanted to get. This one here called The Haunted. But this really is bad for taking thumbnails and stuff. So I probably won't come to this location much, if ever, again. Because that's a shame, because I can't. Because me, I like to go in and, hold up the titles and talk about the stuff and show it and all that kind of stuff. And let's see, the other one, though, it is back there, Inheritance. I put it behind The Mermaid's Curse to make sure it was there to show you guys. But it's actually still back behind there. But I'm probably going to head to the other, location now. But it is always so weird how when they do lock these things up like this. And this is, like I said, I was literally here yesterday, and these were not up. So they must have just done this. But it's so weird, though, how right here, certain things are not locked up. These ones here, these aren't locked up in cases. So and these are bigger box sets. So I can never understand how they pick, because see all these ones here, these ones aren't locked. So it's kind of weird that they're locking up $9 movies. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I can never figure that out. I might still ask them to get this one out just in case though the other location doesn't have it, because I don't want to like have them not have it, you know what I mean? So go there and then have to come back. So I might still get that. But I did see in here too, and I saw some people posting pictures of this. This is a really good price for this, for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey Blu-ray. Here, this is like the I don't know if it has all the features that the other edition had, but it's still a great price for both these ones on Blu-ray, $9.96. So that's definitely really cool. Like I said, I have seen people posting pictures of that one, and I really can't wait though for Bill and Ted Face the Music. Like I said, it's so weird that this one is locked up like this, especially like I said, being in here yesterday, and that quickly they changed the whole thing over. And I was here kind of like late in the day too. But yeah, but like I said, these are like the bigger things and these aren't locked up, so that's really strange. But like I said, I may have them get the one out of the case and then may still go to the other location too, just to see if there's anything else different at that one, and also I can see it easier. I will give though an update though on getting something out of this case. The guy had like 2 rings of keys and he went through both of them and couldn't get the thing open. So I had a feeling that the key thing like that might be something to cry about, but I don't know. Hopefully the other person she can find it. I don't know. We'll see. One thing I noticed about this thing locked up like this, the guy has to try and find the other set. He came back, but you know, all the movies are like open right here, so it's like somebody could just grab them from the back. But the one that I wanted though to grab from the back, I couldn't. And that one, the other one that I put back there, Inheritance, to show you guys, I don't think I could reach it to get it. But isn't that so weird that this is open like this, like to leave it open? But like I said, the movie down there was down there, so they wouldn't be able to grab it. But that's definitely strange that the wall doesn't go up high enough though. Hey, so yeah, they ended up, you know, figuring out how to get the thing open, so I ended up getting the haunted one in there. I'm gonna still head to the other one, and I think, like I said, from now on, I probably won't go to this one too often unless I like have like absolutely no luck at the other one, which is like the bigger location, which most of the time has the stuff out. But little by little, I'm noticing more of the stores locking the, you know, the stuff up. Hopefully, like, they don't all do that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if that's happening to your stores. What's so funny about them locking stuff up is that's what they used to do back when I remember when DVDs like first came out. Everything was locked up. Even back in Maryland, the one that I used to always go to, you know, locked everything up, and that was up until like 2010. But when I came out here, I never saw anyone locked up at all. Like, I never saw that whatsoever. And now all of a sudden in the last, like, I don't know, about a year or so, I've seen little by little stores locking the things again. But yeah, at least they were able to open the thing. And you have to pay for it now in the electronic section. You can't take it to front or anything like that. So it's definitely a different way, you know, that they're doing it now. And like I said, it's just so strange how some of them are locked up, and you know, they lock up like the $9.99 movies, but then like some of the ones that are more expensive are not locked up, like the season sets. So it's definitely a weird way though. But we're heading now to the other Walmart. Into the second Walmart we go. And yeah, like, as long as this Walmart doesn't, you know, lock up all the movies as well, this is pretty much going to now be the one that I go to like 90% of the time, and I'll just go to that other one in case they didn't have something out here or something like that. But we'll see. You know, I just wish these things would just open up for you, but you know, oh, they do. Yeah, like I was saying though, let's see. Hopefully over there they're not locked up too and they didn't all change over. But we'll see though when we get over there. Yeah, but good news, the stuff over here isn't all locked up. This location too actually has more stuff anyway, more movie-wise and stuff like that, so this is probably the better one to come to. The only thing that happens here sometimes though is they don't have like anything out at all. So like they don't change the stuff out. So that happens here sometimes. And like in here today though, let's see if we can see any of the new stuff. Because like I said, that sometimes happens in this particular location. Do they have any of the ones that I just got? See, there's some spots up here. These are all from the last couple weeks, like last week. These ones. Yeah, Ultraman X was last week. So yeah, so let's see though if they had the one that I bought. I don't see that one I bought. That was kind of put kind of in a random spot, if you guys remember in there. It was kind of like a little bit over from those. So it's kind of about here in that one. But yeah, I'm not seeing that at all in here, or the other one that I was mentioning either. Let's see if it's down this way. But like I said, that's the problem, is like you sometimes have to go to like a handful of locations to find everything. But like I said, I'm glad I bought the other one yesterday too, though. Let's see, is it in here? And I have seen once or twice too stuff put out, as strange as it is, early in this spot right here. One location I was in, this is like a random spot, but for some reason they like put some of that stuff in there early by mistake. Well, let's see, there's one other spot though in here that they could have put it. Like I said, it doesn't seem to be anywhere that would be unless it was like here. No, that was like a boss. I do sometimes miss over it. Like I remember I totally missed the one when they put out Fantasy Island in here out early. I totally missed it. But this area over here is where, yeah, here it is. So they don't have the one. I don't see the one. Oh no, here it is. It's down here. So that's good. So they do have all the stuff out here. So the Haunted, which was the one that I bought, you know, today, which looked interesting. I mean, I read mixed reviews on this one, but still it sounded pretty interesting. And then the Inheritance. This is the one that I bought the other time. I mean, you know, bought yesterday with you know, Lily Collins and Simon Pegg. And Simon Pegg has this like crazy like wig on and stuff, and it looks like a really interesting movie. Hopefully it's a good one though. But both of these ones were only $12.99. But so yeah, like I said, you really have to look at where they put this stuff in the stores. So there can be a lot of random different spots and all that kind of stuff. But like I was saying, fingers crossed, hopefully, you know, this location doesn't start locking everything up. But I think now I'm probably just going to head to Best Buy. I don't feel like there's going to be anything new in Target, because like I said, there wasn't really much else. And I didn't see South Park in here, so I don't know if they're going to carry South Park, the newest season, or not. I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't see it over here, and I didn't see it in the other location, unless I totally missed over it. But this one, though, like I said, is a little bit better because it has more TV stuff and more movies over here. So this definitely is a better location. So as long as it doesn't lock everything up, it's definitely a good one. I don't mind when they're in these kind of cases, which I don't know why they don't just put everything in these rather than lock it up, because it's also with the keys, it's hard to get it, you know, if they're worried about, you know, theft and that kind of stuff. But yeah, gonna now, like I said, head over to Best Buy. Into Best Buy we go. Yeah, the new release thing is still very empty over here. Let's look. Last week on the other side is where they had some of the new stuff. But yeah, it's still empty, and like, they still have the steelbooks though from last week. They came out, the Paramount ones. But other than that here, nothing else here. Or head over to the actual section over there to see if there's anything else over there though. Yeah, over here though is the other new release section, and it's all just stuff from last week, like the Impractical Jokers, Soldier's Revenge. I don't see a spot or anything like that for South Park, the newest season of South Park. So I'm not sure if they're going to have that in here or not. But yeah, like I said, there's definitely not much in here, but hopefully in the coming weeks and months it'll all start to kind of get full up again. But and I think it will. It's just going to take a while for more stuff to start coming out, because Best Buy never carries a lot of smaller releases. They only usually would carry bigger stuff. I wish kind of like right now they would carry more smaller boutique label kind of stuff. Then they could kind of try it out to see how they sell, since they haven't done that in a long time now though. So anyway though, guys, that was all for my DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave me comments below too, letting me know if you guys did end up picking up anything today on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K. Let me know what you guys picked up. Also, let me know as well anything new that you guys have been watching on TV. If you guys have, you know, watched anything on demand or on streaming or Netflix or any of that kind of stuff, definitely let me know as well in the comments below any new stuff to check out or anything you guys suggest or any of that kind of stuff. And also let me know as well what you guys thought of the DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews at the end of this video, what you guys thought of them, if you guys plan on picking any of them up. Anyway though, guys, like I said, thanks again for watching and subscribing. Now stay tuned for the brand new reviews. And the first one I got here is from Warner Brothers. They sent out a free copy of this one to let you guys know that this one is available. And this is a Lego DC Shazam Magic and Monsters. And this one here includes this limited edition Lego, you know, DC Shazam minifigure. And I'll show you guys though a look at that one. I put that together. Here's a look though at the little, you know, Shazam minifigure in this one. That's very cool that this one, you know, was included in this. Here's a look too at the package if you guys want to see what the package of it looked like, you know, as well. But this movie though, like I said, this is in the Lego DC series, and in here though too, it has it in its, you know, the regular case with a slipcover as well in this one. But this is, like I said, this is in the Lego DC series, and this is basically though about, you know,
the character of Shazam, which I really love the Shazam movie, and I really like the Shazam character. But it's basically, though, about, if you guys don't know the character of Shazam, it's about basically a kid. How old is the kid? He's 10 years old, and he ends up getting this ability to turn into a superhero if he says Shazam. And basically, though, he turns into a full-grown adult, and that's like kind of, and he has like these powers and stuff like that. So he's a kid, but then when he says Shazam, he turns into an adult, and he ends up getting kind of brought into the Justice League, and they kind of like find out what he's doing and kind of helping and doing good deeds around town and helping and stopping bad things from happening and everything, and he kind of gets brought into the Justice League. But this is dealing with, though, like a villain, though, who ends up turning the Justice League, or at least most of them, into kids. He puts like a spell on them and then turns them into kids, so it's like kid versions of the superheroes like Wonder Woman and everything like that. It's actually really, really fun. I actually really like this one a lot here. If you guys are a fan, though, like I said, of the Shazam character, I would definitely check this out. It's the same with if you guys are a fan of the Lego, films as well. On here, though, this includes 3 hilarious bonus cartoons from, for DC and Lego fans. It's included on this one as well. But like I said, really like this one a lot. Really fun movie, and like I said, it's really cool. It includes the limited edition Shazam Lego minifigure in this one as well. The next ones here are both from the Warner Archive, and this is a really fun show, as I never really saw this one. And this has like Brian Robbins in here, who's now like the head of Nickelodeon, and was behind like stuff like Kenan Kel, and the same with Dan Snyder, who's like behind Kenan Kel, and he was also in the movie Good Burger, and created a bunch of Nickelodeon shows and stuff like that. And this is a show here called Head of the Class, and this is the complete first season of the show, and I believe this went for like 5 or 6 seasons, I believe, something like that. But it's one of those shows, though, that I feel like never really had a huge like syndication, because there's certain shows that I remember like seeing on TV all the time as a kid, or getting rerun and things like that. I don't remember, at least in the last number of years, I don't remember really seeing this one on TV. If you guys do remember that, let me know, or like where they aired this. But like I said, I don't really remember this having like a big rerun. But it's a fun show. It's basically, though, about a substitute teacher who is coming in for this like kind of gifted and talented class where all the kids are kind of smart, and they kind of have their own ways of doing things. And it's basically, though, about him kind of becoming the teacher of these students, and kind of like the go-ons at the school, and it kind of follows the kids with their own sets of problems. And since they're kind of the smart kids, they're kind of like, some of them getting like bullied and all that kind of stuff, and he's kind of just there dealing with what's going on at the school and all the kids' problems and everything. But it's a really, really fun show. I definitely hope they continue releasing the other seasons of this show on on DVD. The next one here is from the Warner Archive as well, and this is the complete first season here of the show Pennyworth. And this one it's basically a prequel to Batman, per se, because it's like not following the Batman character or Bruce Wayne or anything like that. This deals with Bruce Wayne's father, who ends up hiring on Alfred, and kind of the origin story to Alfred, the character of Alfred, who was the butler to, of course, to Bruce Wayne, to Batman. And it's basically, though, about him, kind of was like, he was in like it's a security company. He ends up getting kind of brought in to work for Bruce Wayne, and it's kind of about him kind of like stopping bad things from happening, everything. Like I said, it's a really interesting take on the character, and interesting to see too more of see what Alfred did before he was the butler and everything in the house. But it's a really interesting show here. Like I said, this one here is available on Blu-ray here, and it's called Pennyworth, the complete first season here. The next one here is from Paramount, and this is the complete 23rd season here of South Park, which this is one of those shows, I feel like it's always been consistently good. There's always been really funny episodes of this show. I've watched this show since the very beginning when it aired. I always remember when it first started too, like this show. I always remember, I think it started, I think I saw it the first time ever, the first day I was going to the 6th grade, so I always remember that. And I remember like going to middle school and like talking to everybody about this show. Oh, did you see South Park? And I don't know, it's one of those memories that I always remember. It's just hard to believe, though, it's been going on for 23 seasons now. And the show now, though, it's a little different than it was back in the day, because back in the day it was much more like single episodes. Now it's kind of like the episodes kind of connect together more than they used to. They don't always have a big arc that connects them together, but nowadays there's a lot more that are like that. And this is basically, though, about Randy Marsh, Stan's father, who ends up becoming a farmer, and he's farming something that's legal in Colorado, and it's kind of like he moves out there in kind of the middle of like the farming kind of area, and it's just kind of like it all connects to that. It's just some really funny episodes on this one. On here though, feature-wise, this has a social, hashtag social commentary, which is basically like pop-up facts and stuff like that about like the trivia and stuff like that, as well as it has concept art on this one. And here's a look though inside. I always love the way these are designed. The seasons of the show is designed, the set and everything. And it has like an episode guide on the side, with descriptions about the episodes. And here's a look though at the back of this one as well, the artwork here on the back. But a really fun show. I definitely hope the show continues on. And like I said, it's one of those things that I've watched since the very beginning. And definitely, if you guys are a fan of this show, like I said, want to let you guys know that this one is available, and it's the complete, 23rd season of South Park. The next one here is from Paramount as well. This is a show that I never had seen any episodes of before. I had not even heard of this one. This is from the creators of the show The Good Wife, and this is Evil Season 1 here on DVD. And this is basically, though, about this woman who's like a lawyer, and she ends up getting kind of brought in because there's like a case going on, and a guy who's like saying that, he basically like went crazy and killed his wife, and like there's a guy there who's like kind of trying to like say that he's was possessed and things like that, and like demonic possession to this guy, and that's why he did it. And she basically the woman is like kind of brought in by this guy who's like there at the court saying, I'd like you to work for me. I go around with the church and I kind of go and investigate like evil occurrence kind of things, like possessions and supernatural kind of things that happen. And he tries to basically to see if it's true or if there's any truth behind this. And it's basically about her going, and each episode is a different kind of case of what they're looking into, like possessions and weird things that have happened and that kind of stuff. But it's actually an interesting show. It's very like it says on here too, the best show on network TV, and it's like it definitely really scary, and it has like some really cool horror aspects to it, and it's much more. It seems like something more that would be like on like FX or something like that. It doesn't seem as much like something that you'd see on network TVs. It's definitely a very interesting show. On here though, it has some featurettes on here as well as deleted and extended scenes on this one. The next one here, this is one I did not know anything about going into it, and this is I absolutely love this movie. And I also love the villain in this movie. He was like a different kind of villain, and like he had like an interesting voice because he kind of had like the way he was kind of talking and stuff. Like it's really freaking me out. This guy, and he's like, well, you're gonna go this way. I don't know, you're gonna go over here. I don't know, he was great. Like, he, like, steals the show in this movie, this villain. And it's a movie here called A Good Woman Is Hard to Find. It stars Sarah Bolger. And I can't remember what else she was in. I know she's been in a handful of other things, though. I think it was Mayans and the Tudors she was in. And this is basically, though, about... you find out that her husband had passed away. Something had happened to her husband, and he had died. And she's taking care of her kids. And basically, though, the one night there's this guy who's like, kind of there's some bad stuff that are going on in the neighborhood. There's like these drug dealers and things like that around, and the one guy ends up stealing these drugs from this drug dealer the back of the car, and he doesn't know where to go, so he ends up like running, trying to figure out where he's going to hide, and he ends up breaking into where her character lives, and he's like, listen, you got to let me come in here, I got to hide this stuff, and he stashes the drugs there, and he kind of starts coming back, and he's like saying, here's a little bit of money for doing this, and she's like, I don't want you in here, I want you to get out of here. And it's basically, though, it escalates to this whole big thing of what happens with this guy and these decisions that she ends up making, and it takes like a really intense turn. And then of course that these drug dealers, and like I said, the bad villain guys of these drug dealers, he's gonna come around and be looking for this guy and looking for the drugs and looking for all these things, and it just becomes this absolute nightmare. But I absolutely love this movie. This is I feel like I hopefully people see this movie. This is definitely one I would highly recommend you guys check out. On here, though, it has a bunch of different features. It has a commentary with the director, it has deleted scenes, it has an alternate opening, outtakes, making of featurettes, as well as behind-the-scenes footage. So lots and lots of features on this one. But definitely check out the trailer for this one, though, guys. I really like this one a lot. And the next one here is from the Criterion Collection. This is one that I just wanted you guys know was available. This is a movie here called Come and See Me, and this is a film from 1985. And on this one, though, this has a brand new 2K restoration. On this one, it has a brand new interview with the cinematographer of the film, brand new interview with the director, 3 1975 films from Fleming Memory, a documentary series by Victor Danskuns featuring the first-hand accounts of the survivors of the genocide of World War II in what is known as Belarus. It also has an interview on here from 2001, as well as an interview on here from 2001 with one of the actors in the film. Also has in here the story of the film, Come and See Me, in 1985 short film featuring interviews on this one, a theatrical re-release trailer, and also in here is a booklet which has some stuff about the production of the movie and all that kind of stuff as well. But like I said, though, this is just one that I wanted you guys to know was available from the Criterion Collection. The next ones here are all from moviezing.com, and I'll have a link below where you guys can order these ones for the best price. And this one is also from, was this from Film Rise as well? And this is a movie which stars Sabrina Carpenter and Danny Trejo called The Short History of the Long Road. This is another one that I really like this one a lot. It's basically, though, about this, father and his daughter who are going on this, basically they live out of their van and they're pretty much driving around, just kind of going from place to place and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of funny too. I feel like somebody who's involved in this movie might be or must be a fan of Adam the Woo, because in the front of the car they're driving around, they have one of those Bigfoot. If you guys know Adam the Woo, he always in his car he has that thing that he calls Big the Foot that hangs, and they have that. And I've never seen anybody else have that in their car like that. And I felt like, oh, that might be like a nod to Adam the Woo, putting that in the front of the thing like that. I don't know for sure, but I have a slight feeling it might be. But basically, though, in this movie, though, it's kind of a road movie about her going around with her father. But in the very early on in the movie, though, something happens to her father, and it's essentially about her trying to figure out exactly what she's going to do. You know what I mean? Like here, and she kind of goes around to different areas and is kind of trying to figure out exactly where she's going to go and with her life and everything. And she comes across, Danny Trejo's character, who works at a mechanic. He's a mechanic, and basically it's kind of like her working with him, and it's kind of, and it's that was some of my favorite stuff in the movie. His scenes, he did an amazing job. His role in this movie, and you felt really bad for the way she kind of acted to him at one scene in the movie. You're like, oh, because he was really trying to help her out and everything. I really like this movie. I like these kind of road movies about people going on the road, and it is very sad though as well, because she goes through a whole lot of different things, that are going around and everything, but would definitely recommend you guys check this one out here. The next one here is from Movie Zing as well, and these next three ones too are also from Lemark, Studios, and this is one I really like. This one I would definitely recommend you guys check this out here. This one was great. It's a movie here called Version Cheerleaders, and it's basically, though, I always love movies, like I said, about making movies. Those are some of my favorite movies about people putting together projects, and especially if they're ones when the things are going wrong and they're having all kinds of problems and everything. And this one is basically, though, about this guy who's a writer, and he's having like no luck getting his scripts like produced, and no one's buying them, and because he doesn't have an agent, he's like no one will read the scripts, and they keep getting sent back to him and all that kind of stuff. So he just decides, you know what, I'm just gonna make a movie. I'm gonna write this sort of cheesy horror film, and I'm gonna make this. And the one guy I know, he works at a video store, and he was in a bunch of horror films, like one that was kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of knockoff movie, and I can get him to be in the movie. And my friends will be in it, and they're giving me a little bit of money to make this, and it's kind of like it's kind of about the whole process of trying to make this movie, about trying to get the money and having all kinds of problems. And the one guy's father is going to give the money, and he doesn't want to until he gets a script, and all these sort of things. But since this is a horror movie, though, that something is going to go drastically bad, and it kind of has like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of vibe to this, for like where they shoot this movie and what happens and everything. I absolutely love this movie because it's like a real self-aware kind of movie, what's going on, and it's great. Like I said, it's like every kind of problem you can imagine the book is going on about trying to make this movie, and that's like all throughout the whole process, but a really, really cool movie. On here, though, this has it's some promos for the film. It has behind the scenes, as well as Machete Mike, which is the one character, was like the guy who works at the video store. Machete Mike's character on this one as well. But like I said, definitely check this one out here. The next one is from Lemark Studios as well, and this one here is called Five Must Die. And this is basically, though, about like a college like teacher who like has kind of like like his group. He's like kind of like does like reckless kind of stuff because he's like, oh well, we were gonna break into this abandoned building, it's like an abandoned asylum, and we're gonna go and like explore it and check it out and everything and see if we can figure out exactly why it closed and all these kind of things. And the group, the students in the class are like, okay, we'll do it. And so they basically, of course, go into this old asylum, that's been abandoned for years and years and years, and they go in there, and of course, though, going in there is not a good thing, and they're going there to kind of make it like a project for school and stuff like that for the teacher. And like I said, he's come along and they're trying to film this whole thing and document and everything. And of course, though, they go in there and then they come up with the idea too of messing around with like this, messing around in there, and like things just start to go really bad. And it's kind of them like trapped in there trying to figure out what they're gonna do, and kind of has like Grave Encounters kind of vibes a little bit to this one. And this one has on here a commentary track on this one as well. This one here is a film from a Russian horror film, and this is from Lemark Studios as well. And these are also all from Dark Side Releasing. That's it's Lemark Studios and Dark Side Releasing is like the group together releasing these ones. And this is Escape Room Quest of Fear. And I always love the movies that take place in escape rooms and those kind of things. There's been a lot of them lately, especially with Escape, Room, the one that was like came out like a year or so back. And I know they're making a sequel to that one, but there's been a handful of them recently. And this one is basically though about a group of kids that go there, on Halloween to kind of do this, and it's kind of like they have like the idea is they have to escape from like these like crazy cannibal clowns and stuff in there. But of course, though, this is like a real situation. It's like there is like some crazy people in there, and it's pretty much them, trapped in this escape room. They have to kind of solve the clues to get out of the room. Why actually somebody's coming after them, trying to kill them, and it really is happening and everything on here. And this one has on here a making of documentary. But I thought this was actually pretty cool. Like I said, I always like these escape room kind of movies. The next one here is from Movie Zing as well. This is also from Vision Films, and this is a film that stars Christina Ricci. And I always watch everything Christina Ricci is in. And this one here, it's basically though about Christina Ricci's character goes on like meets this guy at a bar. I think it was like a blind date, like that they met up from like a dating app or something like that. And immediately they kind of, when they both meet, they're kind of like, oh, I don't know if we really like each other, and they kind of don't seem like they have like much of a connection. They make like a joke saying, since this isn't going to really work out, let's put together a list of 10 things we want to do before we break up. And it's basically though they come up with this list, but really early on though they kind of like sort of do find that they like each other and are kind of staying around. But this is kind of one of those movies about where, the ups and downs of relationships and kind of afraid of commitment. Like Christina Ricci's character is kind of afraid, really likes this guy, but then he kind of isn't so sure about committing. So they have like their ups and downs, and even like the things that are on the list that they come up with are actually happening to them in real life, because the list was as if they were together. And it's an interesting movie. It does have a kind of a weirdness though at the end. Like I can't exactly figure out why, because the movie ends, because the movie's really short, it's only 74 minutes, so it kind of has this like abrupt kind of ending to it, which I can't exactly figure out why it ended exactly like that, the way that it did. But I did like this movie though. I thought there was like like I said, I always like Christina Ricci, so I thought this was actually a pretty interesting one with her, just kind of like this relationship and the ups and downs of it. The next one here, and this is from Movie Zing as well, and this is also from Film Buff, and this is a movie that stars, Patrick Schwarzenegger's in the film, and it's called Go North. And this is basically, set in a world where, after like something had happened, and it kind of they leave it vague. They don't really get into exactly what's going on and what exactly has happened. But something has happened where there's no adults left on the planet, and this kind of has like a vibe of like a movie like Divergent and those kind of like teen kind of film vibes a little bit. Some other ones like Maze Runner and that kind of feel to it a little bit to this one. And it basically though it's about people who are surviving during this, and like the younger like teens and stuff that are survived in this, and that kind of community of them. But it has like I said, that kind of teen vibe, but then it has like a Lord of the Flies kind of vibe, because it's basically about these people kind of living together in a community, and then kind of like a group of people who are kind of like in charge. And this is about a couple that end up wanting to escape from this and get away, but it's kind of like they're controlled by this group, and they if they try and get away, they might come after them. them and all this kind of stuff. And they also don't know exactly what's out there because they kind of all live in, like I said, this community, but they don't know what's like out in the woods and actually out in the world. And it's kind of them going on this journey to kind of see if they can find a better life of getting away from all this stuff. I actually like this one. Like I said, it has a vibe of like those Divergent kind of feels mixed with Hunger Games mixed with like Lord of the Flies and all those kind of ones all kind of combined together here. And like I said, this one here is called Go North. And the last one from Movie Zing, and this is also from Phantom is it Phantom Pain Films? Yeah, Phantom Pain Films. This is Ouija Blood Ritual, and this is basically though about like these filmmakers who are doing like a web series, and it's one of those kind of ones, what they're really trying to like, become successful at this, and they want to try and figure out exactly how to do like, they want to like kind of debunk and show like rituals and urban legends and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing they're really trying to get views, and they're trying to do anything they can to kind of get attention and get people to watch their videos and make interesting stuff that's not the same kind of stuff that everyone's doing. But of course though, they go out there and to do this, and they end up messing around though with a Ouija board, and of course though it becomes they end up actually, because of this ritual that they found out about, they end up actually conjuring something up, and it's basically them dealing with what has happened, and it becomes like an absolute nightmare because you see in the very beginning of this movie something has gone wrong, and it's kind of like a whole nightmare, and it's like I said, it's all done found footage style as if it was like recovered footage and things like that. On here though, this has a direct feature wise, it has a director's commentary, cast interviews on this one as well. And the next ones here are all from Viavision, and these ones are all Australian releases. Now these ones, though, for those wondering, these ones are all region-free, so you guys can watch these ones no problem in any U.S. DVD player. You don't have to have a region-free player or anything like that. These ones will play totally fine in a U.S. player. And the first one, though, is a show which stars Debbie Ryan called Insatiable, and this is the complete first season of the show. And I believe this is a show that was on Netflix. And this is basically, though, about Debbie Ryan's character, who was kind of like, she used to be much heavier, and kind of like her character was much heavier, and she kind of wasn't popular in school, kind of got picked on, and kind of like, no one kind of noticed her. And she basically, though, had lost all this weight, and this guy who does like beauty pageants ends up meeting her and kind of wants to kind of represent her. But it's one of these kind of movies, one of those kind of shows where it's like the characters are all kind of like not the greatest, they're all very flawed, and they're all like doing weird things, and it's kind of like, it sort of has vibes a little bit to like Heathers a little bit, like kind of like mean-spirited kind of stuff with the humor and everything on this one. And like I said, this one here, this is the complete first season of the show here. The next one here is a show here with stars Julia Roberts called Homecoming, the complete first season. I had not seen any episodes of the show. I had heard about this one, and I believe the creator of I'm pretty sure the creator of Mr. Robot is behind this show, or one of the producers or something like that on this one, from what I remember reading. I believe so. And this is basically, though, about Julia Roberts' character who works this kind of place where they're doing like, it's like a transitional period for soldiers that have come from war to get back into civilian life, and they're doing kind of like testing, and they have people kind of staying there in this kind of weird type of building. It has like a weird look to the whole building and everything, like this kind of like, it's hard to explain, but they're kind of like living there. And you find out though, because the show kind of cuts back and forth between like back a couple years back and then modern now currently, and the way it's shot is interesting because like the stuff that's like current footage is shot in this kind of like full screen kind of like bars kind of look to it, so to kind of show the difference between the times. But basically though, you find out something had happened to Julia Roberts' character, and she left this whole facility, and you find out more about what had happened there throughout the show. But someone comes to the diner where she's working now, because she's now working in a diner to try and kind of change her whole life around, and someone comes to her and says, I want to talk to you about what you did there, and I want to hear about this, and we're trying to investigate this, and that something had happened there. It's a very, very interesting show here. And here's a look though inside at this one here. The next one here, and this is a collection here, it's a 5-disc set, and this is Murder, She Baked, the complete collection. These are all movies that air on Hallmark, and these are it has 5 different movies. It has a chocolate chip cookie mystery, a plum pudding mystery, peach cobbler mystery, a deadly recipe, and just desserts. And this is basically about a woman who owns a bakery, or runs this bakery, and like she's kind of like supposed to be like Murder, She Wrote, because she like investigates crimes and disappearances and people that had something bad had happened to her because someone that she died outside of her place, and it's kind of her investigating the whole thing. And it's, like I said, it has like a Murder She Wrote kind of vibe, and these are all the films that are in that series here. And this is like a cool set to have these all together, but feature-wise, it has behind the scenes on this one. And the last one here, and this is something that I don't believe had ever been released on DVD before, ever. I don't think, at least in the US or anywhere. I'm pretty sure, because it says available for the first time on DVD, so I don't know if it ever came out in the US or not. But this is a movie here called T.R. Baskin, and this one stars, Candice Bergen, as well as Peter Boyle and James Caan. And this is basically, though, about this girl who ends up leaving, to go, leaves from a small town and goes to the city. It's kind of like, do bigger things in her life and everything to kind of, to kind of do bigger, just to kind of get away from the small town and everything. And it's kind of about, what happens with her life and who she meets, and she comes across Peter Boyle's character because she gets introduced to him, and it's kind of like his character is really, it's kind of like she doesn't really like dealing with him, and it's a really interesting movie. Like I said, I had never heard of this one, and it's really cool this one is released now, on DVD. Like I said, and this one, like I said, all these ones from Viavision are region free, though. Like I said, you guys can watch these ones no problem in any US, DVD or Blu-ray player. And the next ones I got here are all from Wild Eye Releasing. A whole bunch of really cool brand new releases here to let you guys know are available. The first one is one I'm really excited about, and it's a movie here which is directed by Brad Twigg called Wrestle Massacre. Now, the one thing that's really fun about this movie is I have a really fun cameo in this movie that I filmed. Essentially, though, this movie, though, is about a guy who's this, serious wrestling fan, and he really wants to be a wrestler, and of course, things do not really work out well for him, and he basically goes totally crazy, and he goes on this killing spree of going after people and like killing them, and it's like a super gory. It has like throwback vibes to like real like 80s style slasher film vibes of this movie. It also has a whole bunch of wrestlers having cameos in the film, as well as a handful of wrestling cameos in this movie as well. But in the movie, though, the one character, though, is watching TV, and he's, like, looking at stuff. He's going all these commercials and everything, and then he changes the channel, and he sees a soap opera on TV. And that's what I filmed for the movie, was, like, a really weird, goofy, super over-the-top soap opera. And it's, like, me playing both roles, and it's, like, about this couple having a big argument because of something they found in the boyfriend, the girlfriend found something in the boyfriend's car, and it's kind of this big, ridiculous argument back and forth between them and everything. It's a really super goofy thing that I filmed for this. But this is a really fun, like I said, super gory slasher film. On here, though, feature-wise, it has a making of, outtakes, as well as an interview on here and some trailers for other Wild Eye Releasing titles. The next one here, and this is one, this is a film that was from 2012. This one just released now, and this is a film here called Bundy Reborn, which has a great cast in this movie. It has, the late Sid Haig is in the film, Bill Moseley, Doug Bradley, and I like this one a lot. This is basically, though, about a serial killer, a guy who's a serial killer, essentially like a Ted Bundy kind of guy, the kind of guy that you wouldn't expect to be a serial killer, and like the guy that like all the women like, and all that kind of stuff. And it's basically, though, you see right from the very beginning, the guy's father is played by Bill Moseley. You see something that he does in the beginning. You can tell that his father is like crazy, and he's like, put this onto his son, some of what was going on with him. And essentially, though, it's about, he's like the guy's girlfriend, though. He like kidnapped her and something happened to her, and there's kind of like an investigation of trying to find her, and he's going around and finding other women that he's going out with, and then he's kidnapping them and torturing them and killing them, and all these kind of crazy things that are going on. And like I said, Bill Moseley plays the father, and then Doug Bradley's playing one of the investigators of everything, trying to get to the bottom of it. And I really like this one a lot. And on here, though, it has a whole bunch of different features. It has a blooper reel, it has deleted scenes, Fantasia Festival Q&A, some interviews on here, on-set video, Texas Frightmare Q&A, so lots and lots of features on this one here. This one here is a really fun movie from Wild Eye as well, called Crispy's Curse. And this one, it kind of was reminding me of the movie, I think it was called like Stitches, about like the crazy clown, and also has vibes of like, because I always love movies about like crazy, like wacky clown, like killer clowns and stuff, like, of course, like, It, and it had, and like I said, the ones, I think it was called Stitches, I believe, and it has that similar kind of vibe, because it's basically, though, about like this basically somehow is summoned up from this record playing backwards, this crazy clown, because it's like this like Christian death metal band, and it's kind of dealing with them trying to get their career going and everything, and this like documentaries like who's doing a story on them, but yet then there's this like clown that has gone rampant, this crazy goofy over the top clown that is going and killing people, and there's these crazy ridiculous kind of deaths, and like this old woman like going like her wheelchair going crazy and she's crashing into this car, and all kinds of really crazy stuff. And it's dealing with people who are trying to investigate the whole thing, and a guy who's like a psychic medium who kind of has his own reality show, who kind of comes in to try and get to the bottom of what exactly is going on with this clown and how to stop it and everything. It's like a whole bunch of really crazy stuff here, but it was a really, really fun movie here. On this one has on here feature-wise trailers for other releases as well. And the last one here from Wild Eye Releasing is a movie here called The Whispering Man. And this one was, a found footage movie. It was basically, though, about like a guy who has like a YouTube kind of show that kind of investigates like paranormal things and hauntings and that kind of stuff. And that he's doing an investigation on something that relates to his family, because recently his grandmother had passed away, and he ends up, knowing about this painting that she had of what was called the Whispering Man, that it's said to have like this curse behind it and all sorts of weird things. And his father had ended up having the painting at one point, and then the father had gone totally missing, and they basically tracked the painting back down to the grandmother's house, and of course they're starting to investigate into this painting and trying to see what's going on, and then weird things start to happen, and it's kind of about the documentation of him showing this and him trying to get to the bottom of this painting and trying to exactly figure out why this painting is cursed, and you know what I mean, like, so he's actually having like some serious content for his video series of all these things that are going on with this painting. And on here this has bonus trailers as well, but I really like this one, a pretty well done found footage one here. Like I said, this is called The Whispering Man. And the next one here is from Olive Films. This is one I wanted you guys to know was available, and this is from the Olive signature line here, and this is the film Hair here in a brand new Blu-ray release of the film. This one has on here a whole bunch of different features. It has a commentary track on here with assistant director Michael Houseman, as well as actor Trent Williams. The Tribe remembers with actors Beverly D'Angelo, as well as a number of other cast members talking about the film. It has on here though a Making Chance Work choreography, the choreography of Hair with cinematographer of the film. Also has on here an interview with the editors, interview on here with the production designer, as well as it has on here a memory, remembering Milos Forman, with the director talking about Milos Forman, as well as an essay on here with Sheila O'Malley. I'll show you guys though a look inside here at this one as well. It's in the clear Blu-ray case, and in here it has a booklet, which, like I said, has an essay in here, some stills from the movie about the production and everything like that as well. But release wise here, it looks great here on Blu-ray, and it has in here like a great cast. Like I was saying, it has Trent Williams, it has John Savage, Beverly D'Angelo, so really great cast in this one here, and a really great brand new release of Hair here from Olive Films. But anyway though, guys, thanks so much for watching and subscribing. That was all for the DVD and Blu-ray review portion of the video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing. Like I always say, if you guys enjoyed these videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later.